So tell me, tell us a little bit, as much as you want to share, about
Hmm.
your weight experience, because I know you've mentioned in your videos that your weight fluctuated over the years, and you've come to a place where you're able to manage it obviously much better and help others.
Yeah. So I had a very hard time realizing that I was a product of my environment. Um, my leanest was when I worked with a bunch of bodybuilding competitors and I was consistently shamed. I mean, they're my friends. I never set up the boundaries. I always want to make that clear. I never set up the
Mm,
boundaries or made it seem like it was an issue. I kind of laughed with them.
yeah.
But due to the constant shaming, I developed many eating disorders. I chewed and spit. I had exercise bulimia. I did just whatever I could to be as lean as possible. And I kind of thought that that was the norm. Like, as long as I looked a certain way, I provided value for my job title. And as long
Mm,
as I had this value, then I would get my business. And I would assume that a lot of other people wanted similar goals. Now, I would always hear them out. I would never assume and make them do something they didn't want to do. But in the back of my mind, I always thought, like, oh, everyone wants to be this lean. Everyone wants to look this good. And little did I know that the mature, confident people who didn't care about that, they weren't lazy, they evolved.
hmm
And they just wanted to get strong. They wanted to focus on their heart health. They wanted to get off their medication. They didn't care if they were ripped or not.
hmm
And it started to get me to kind of just think twice about my overall approach. So, because I was so dependent on validation from my body, I was massively deprived. And because I was massively deprived, I would look forward to the weekends when I would drink a lot with my friends and
hmm
eat without a problem. And this would be like an all weekend thing. And then I would show up for myself the next week harder because of what I did during the weekend.
Yeah.
And this was just a cycle.
hmm
So I was very unhappy, but I thought I was happy, but I didn't realize that all the times that I thought I was happy, I was probably just drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
hmm
and I realized, like, as someone who has been doing this for the majority of his life, I can't keep going back and forth like this.
And it had to
And I
be
just,
had to physically be taking a toll on you as well, though, right? Because
yeah, yeah, like, my
it's
hormones were
out
a
of
mess.
balance.
Yeah. So my hormones were a mess. I was sleeping like crap. My testosterone was down. My cortisol was up.
hmm
I did a stupid HCG diet once that completely messed with my hormones. Yep. And
hmm
I ate 600 calories a day for 21 days. And I lost about 28 pounds, but I gained it back in like 2 months.
Yeah.
And like, I remember, like, I couldn't even eat during my engagement party because I was on the diet.
hmm
So I felt like I know better than this. And I was
hmm
just in such a rush to expedite the process because, again, I felt like my own walking billboard.
Right.
So it's not just body dysmorphia as just a regular man. It's I'm a fitness professional.
hmm
So it's times 10. Like, not only do I have to be lean, like, I have to be way above average.
hmm
So I was very desperate to get there. And it took a long time for me to just finally get to the comfort level that you see me broadcasting all over social media. And this is fairly recent. This was like 2021 that I
mm
really had the like mental shift.
hmm
Now, now I was getting better. I wasn't like from A to Z. Like, I was on my way there, but it really finally just clicked after a bachelor party that I had in Cabo where I was just a mess and I just said enough was enough.
hmm
And I just turned everything around and I started being authentic and it started showing up for me. And when I started realizing that I was being accepted being authentic, I was like, oh, so it doesn't matter if I'm ripped.
Right.
So now, because that pressure is off, I'm becoming in the best shape I've ever been in because
hmm
now it's fun to show up and it's not resentful.
Yeah, exactly. It's authentic. There's such a difference when you're authentic.
Yeah.
And there's so much freedom in being authentic, as crazy as that sounds.